Our second session will shed some light on implementing best practices to create a supportive environment for all learners, especially children with learning disorders. Please join me in welcoming Ms. NATALIE GHATTAS, General Manager of ABC Diagnostic and Learning Center, who will enlighten us on the topic, Phonological Awareness, Deficits and Treatment through Intervention Programs. Ms. NATALIE?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, GFEL, for giving us this opportunity to be with you this morning. I hope everyone a successful event. So for over 10 years working with special ed students, specifically students with learning difficulties in Lebanon and Saudi Arabia, I have noticed that a lot of our students are having difficulties in reading and writing, specifically in the Arabic language. Although we tried different strategies to work with those students on teaching them skills and modifying their curriculum, they were still falling behind when tested on standardized assessments. Sorry, I don't know what. Okay. I moved there. Okay. So due to the lack of resources and intervention strategies to teach those children in our Arab countries, we decided to create and develop the first intervention program that targets the phonological awareness deficits of students with learning difficulties. So ABC Center in Riyadh have developed this program and tested students' effectiveness on pre- and post-tests in reading and writing skills. ABC Center has found significant results after the intervention program for a very short period of intervention, which is 8 weeks. So is reading natural? Although learning to read is one of the most important skills a child must acquire during early elementary grades, a lot of students find this task as a very complex task. And actually, this is because reading is a cognitive and linguistic aspect. So what is phonological awareness? According to Lieberman, Chancellor, Weiner, and Torgeson, phonological awareness refers to the understanding that spoken words can be broken down into smaller parts. It is comprised of syllable awareness, rhyme awareness, and phoneme awareness. A study that was done in 2004 on 3rd and 5th grade students with learning or reading difficulties, it showed that 77% were significantly weak, 20% were weak, and only 3 were proficient. So there was a significant link between weak phonological awareness and weak reading skills. Research has also shown that brain function changes our reality. So this is a brain function of a child with no reading disability. This is a brain function of a child with developmental dyslexia. We can see the difference in the brain function. After intervention, this is a brain of a child with dyslexia, and it showed increased brain function, which is similar to the typical child. So some activities of phonological awareness activities, they go in hierarchy from simple tasks to more difficult tasks. Example of activities are rhyming activities, which start in the KG level, like the student has to find words that rhyme with another word. Identifying activities are identifying the first sound in a word, for example, k and cat, and then the last sound, and then the harder task is to identify the middle sound. Segmenting activities is when you give a word like cat and then you have to segment it to specific or individual phonemes, which is k, a. And then blending activities is when you give like phonemes and then they have to blend it into one word. Manipulation activities is maybe the hardest level among those, is to change one sound in a word to form a new word. So change t in cat to n, the new word will be can. So these are some examples of phonological awareness activities that start from the early years and go to the elementary grades. There is a lot of research linked to the impact of phonological awareness on reading abilities. The link between phonological awareness and reading ability are extremely important when it comes to the prevention and intervention of reading disabilities. CAT's research indicates that reading instruction and intervention should specifically be developed to increase phonological awareness skills. Several other studies have provided evidence that phonological awareness can be improved and therefore will lead to increased word decoding and reading abilities. The neuropsychology of word reading and how it's related to the brain. There are many brain areas involved in reading competency, even at the basic word reading level. So problems in one or more of those areas in the brain can lead to reading disorders. In a landmark study, Pug found a functional disconnect between the phonemic and graphemic systems in the inferior parietal lobe, which is likely the most common cause of reading disabilities. So if we wait for children to fall behind in the early elementary grade levels, we're moving to a remedial rather than a preventive model. And this will actually cause a problem later on for children when they go up to higher levels, especially in their reading fluency, because they have lost months and years and they will remain poor readers. Phonological awareness across languages. Also, a lot of research has been done to test phonological awareness transfer across languages. And this has showed that there is a relation between phonological awareness of different languages. Development of phonological awareness in one language transfers to the other language. So when we work on training the child's phonological awareness in one language, research has shown that it may transfer to another language. This indicates that phonological awareness is a cognitive factor rather than language specific. There's a research that was done by Haddad and Jeva that explained the relationship between phonological awareness in English and Arabic. And the results showed that the two languages were positively correlated. But phonological awareness of students in English improved more than Arabic. Why? Because there are many letters in the Arabic language that are not actually found in the English language. So that's why ABC Center have developed a program that targets all the phonemic and sounds in the Arabic language, which is called Asma Hurufi program. This program is based on the multisensory approach and phonological awareness training for students with learning difficulties, for typical students, and for students with articulation problems. So the program actually starts by introducing letter sounds and works on appropriate articulation of sounds through mouth movements and through hands-on activities. And then it teaches short and long vowel sounds through hands-on activities and multisensory approach. We help students with learning difficulties to visualize better through looking at multisensory activities. The tracking arrow teaches direction in the Arabic language, and it minimizes reversal problems for students with dyslexia. It teaches tracking strategies, training children on the different phonological awareness activities like segmenting, blending, and substitution. It also focuses on word color coding based on different shapes to track different syllables. The flashcards links the sounds with the word with the name of the letter. And the program includes reading and writing lists that goes from the easier level to a harder level. It is based on systematic phonics intervention, which is we help students, we help in reading fluency and spelling through the systematic approach. The student book is an activity book to help practice phonological awareness activities and to help writing skills. I will end this by hoping that more and more resources and programs are developed to improve student skills in the Arabic language. Thank you, everyone. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, I just want to give a special thanks to Jawhara Twejri, the Executive Director and owner of ABC Center, for all her support.
Thank you, Ms. GHATTAS, for your insightful comments.